Okay, we are leaving this camp spot and we are headed up to a place called South Lake, east of Hebo. That might be our first opportunity to get a base camp somewhere. That might be our first eligible contestant. Okay, are you ready? There we go, some adventure riders. Last chance firewood. We just turned off onto Hebo, Mount Hebo Road or something like that. This stuff is fun, but you have to move around on the bike. But if you want to have a little fun, move around on the bike, twist the throttle. A little angel came to me yesterday and brought me a pair of long handles and this windbreaker. I thought it was going to be a lot warmer than what it is. The bike is doing really well. So far, so good. All of my gear and me weighs the same amount as the bike does wet. I had to, the main spring on the rear shock, I had to tighten the preload of that all the way down as far as it'd go until just before I ran out of threads. So it's working a little bit. I've got about 75 pounds of gear. You're like, why 75 pounds of gear just to go camping? I know, that's what I'm saying. Every time I've packed that and unpacked it, I rearrange things so it packs better, but I can't get rid of anything else. Or I do without, seriously without. And I want this trip to be a comfortable one. I'm not going ultra minimalistic on this, but you are being pretty ultra minimalistic just being on a dirt bike. It's the Moscow 40 side bags and the 30-liter backcountry duffel or whatever that is, the double-ended one. I've got like 90 or 95 liters of carrying capacity in all my bags. So the Moscow Moto bags, these down here, are 14 liters. Then the bag at the bottom is 2 liters, and this is a 4-liter bag. So that would be 20 liters. 20 liters and 20 liters on the other side is 40. Then that 30-liter bag is 70. Then my backpack is 12, plus the 4-liter bag on my backpack and the 4-liter bag right there is another 8. And then the tank bag is 5 liters, 95 liters. When these bags were brand new, you know how stiff they are? They were cram-packed, as full as I could get them. But now, just a week into the trip, 5 days or whatever into this trip, they have loosened up and I've got room. Like, it's not packed as tight as it was before. Now that all the bags are loosening up, everything fits a lot better. Yeehaw. I'm out here all by myself, a long ways from home. And yes, I want to have fun, but I also want to get home. I don't want to break a bike. I don't want to break a me. I love the old thump of these single cylinders, man. My Africa Twin was nice. Lots and lots of power. But that's not what I'm looking for right now. This bike right here is exactly what I'm looking for right now. Don't get sick on me here. To me, it's one of the prettiest places on earth. I wish there was more hardwoods though. More oak trees, hickory trees. The wildlife would grow in abundance if they did that. When there's no bags on this bike, man, I can lift that bike up and down, up and down, up and down, put it up on a stand, take it down. All that stuff, no problem. But with all 75 more pounds of gear on there, on the very top, it makes it a little heavier to lift. But not a problem, not like the Africa Twin. I love that bike for just, you sit in that bike and you almost feel like you're in a damn chopper. Almost. And it cruises down the road. I had highway pegs on it. It was so fun to just ride on the road. But not so much fun doing this stuff right here. I took it off-road a few times and it wasn't fun. And I laid that bike over one time. Same thing, gravel parking lot, making a tight turn. You get too much weight on the inside and stop, and it's going down. Man, and it didn't hardly hurt that Africa Twin at all. I had crash bars all the way around that thing. This thing doesn't have crash bars. I bent the radiator guard. This tank comes with radiator guards, pretty thick aluminum ones. And just laying the bike over, bent the radiator guard. Luckily, this tank and the radiator guard doesn't mount to the radiator at all. The radiator's just on its own mounts to the frame of the bike. And I'm not a motorcycle mechanic. I'm not a old motorcycle racer. I'm new to bikes. I rode them as a kid. I had 3 or 4 bikes as a kid. By the time I turned 16, I quit riding. I'm 50 years old now. It's been a long time since I've been on a motorcycle. But I love it just as much as I did when I was a kid. It puts a smile on my face every time I get on it. Okay, so it turned from blacktop to dirt, or gravel. And I want to go as easy as I can on these gravel roads. I grew up on a gravel road. You get to playing in them too much, you'll get flat. Please protect it. There's no camping allowed through here. Suited for trailer traffic. So it'll turn out. End of camping closure. Big old space on the road. Little pond. Okay, we're at campfire. I don't write scripts or anything, so I'm kind of a one-hit wonder impromptu kind of guy. Which brings me to a story. I'm at Lackland Air Force Base, and I'm going through the survival instructor elimination program, basically. It's where all the people that want to be survival school instructors, they go to this particular school beforehand. And it's well known as the elimination course, because once you get there, they just try and make you quit. You're there housed with all the PJs and combat controllers and all the other special ops guys. You have to run everywhere. If you're one of those guys, you know what I'm talking about. But we would go on long rucks, big hikes, and through the woods. And just all of a sudden, the instructor would say, you know, Airman so-and-so, tell me about this tree. He would ask some of the most off-the-wall questions about the environment around you, and you had no time to prepare. You just you impromptu'd it. And you would say, it's brown, it's gray, it's 65 feet tall, I'm guessing. And you just went through telling him everything you could see about it. And then what benefits might it have to the forest? How does it serve the forest and all that? You just, until he decided you were done. And because he was halfway teaching you what types of questions you were going to get while you were training people out in the woods, like, hey, what is this good for, and what is that good for? And you need to come up with you need to be able to tell them something. And you're the instructor. You're not supposed to say, I don't know. You know, I don't know anything about that tree. Is it a tree? Is it a bush? That's not the correct answer. Because you're there to instill confidence in those people coming through. And in order to do that, you have to be confident in what you're doing. And practicing impromptu is a really good way of doing that. I wasn't a survival school instructor. The day before graduation, me and another guy that became really good friends there, we started off with like 25 people that wanted to be survival school instructors. And you sit and wait until the class gets that big, because it's not like there's hundreds of people trying to do it and only a few make it. There's not that many people that try and do it to begin with, and then they whittle it down to only like 5 at the end. Well, me and another guy that made it all the way to the end, we wanted to travel the world. I wanted to travel the world, and him and I would talk about it during training, you know, but we didn't want to quit the training. We made it all the way to graduation, and then told our instructors that we wanted to do something else. We wanted to travel the world, and he was mad but understanding. He was mad that we waited all the way to graduation to tell him. And lo and behold, I had to go through survival school anyway. I got the special treatment in every class. So I had to do the field survival, the water survival, and the POW training. But the field survival was a lot like this out here, other than you don't have a motorcycle to pack everything. There you have a parachute that's been deployed, and you use the harness of the parachute as your rucksack, and you get to take a few things with you, and you get captured at the end. Those that go to POW training get captured at the end. But that's all I'm going to say about that. South Lake, 1/4 mile that way. It's a little cooler here than it was on the coast. We're a little closer to the coast down in the valley. Up here in these mountains, it's quite a bit cooler. gee whiz. That's number 2, man. Yeah. It's lay down number 2, baby. And it keeps going down in the same kind of slow speed turning in gravel. Same shit. We found it! You can turn off. Oh, my baby. Look at you, sweetheart. Yeah. Yes. This is it. Oh, boy. I tell you what. I say that to my dog all the time. I say, Geely, I tell you what. This is what's for dinner. Some cheese. 1 stick of beef jerky. 1 little stick of beef jerky. And a candy bar. A chocolate and almond candy bar. It's so quiet. I got something really important I want to share. It's something nobody's saying. It's something most people don't want to hear. But you're going to have to suffer through watching me eat here at camp. Eat like a king. If nobody knows, I love this country, and there's nobody that's worked as hard as me to prove it. But when you really love something, you want to take care of it. When it's broke, you want to fix it. Everything's just gotten so big and out of hand that it's hard to control. It's hard to rein in. You're going to like what I have to say? Part of you is going to be going, you dang right. There's going to be another part of you that says, whoa, hold on a minute. I'm not sure if I want to sign up for that. Thanks for just enjoying camp with me. I'm sitting here feeding my face and talking to you. Here's my 1 stick of beef jerky. It was Tillamook, extra sharp white cheddar. You ready for what I really had to say? You think you can handle it? Need to get this done. I need to tell you what it is. You want to know what really makes America great and what has always made America great? Not President Trump. What makes America great today has made it great since the day it was founded. You see, what's different about America, different than anywhere else on earth, is that in the United States of America, the people rule. The people have all the power. In the United States of America, the government is the servant of the people, meaning that the President of the United States is the highest ranking public servant. He is not the ruler of the free world or the leader of the free world. He simply represents the people of the United States of America. He doesn't represent the country. He doesn't represent a document. He doesn't represent anything other than the people. Those documents are the people's documents, not the government's document. The government has no right to mess with those documents. Those documents belong to the people. So how can the people rule in America? Let me tell you. This is the real kicker that makes it so amazing. America declared its independence under the sovereignty of the people that make up the country. So they derived their powers and sovereignty from the people, meaning the people are as sovereign as any king and queen on this earth. There are 350 million kings and queens in the United States of America. That's what makes America great, is when you're a citizen of the United States of America, you are a king or a queen. You are a sovereign human being with rights that cannot be taken or given from any government or to any government. They are yours and yours alone. That's what makes America really great. If you didn't know. I'm stoked that I found this place. This would be a good spot. There's a few places to choose from, so depending on the winter here. Woo, what an awesome place. And I'm not right on top of people that are not watching me film this. It's like everybody's dream, right? You're in your perfect spot, but you got people all around you and they're all watching you. What's this guy doing? Who does he think he is out here teaching people how to camp? What the hell? Bumps, shakes, rattles. You gotta keep checking your stuff, man. If you don't check and double check all the stuff you got tied to your bike, bet you'll lose something. Let's get these boots off too. Although I've only been wearing them for an hour and a half, 2 hours. 2 hours. I like these boots, man. When you first get them, they are stiff and you're like, oh my God, am I going to be able to wear these? By the third day, wear them for about an hour and a half, 2-3 hours riding. By the third day of doing that, you're like, these aren't so bad. And now, I haven't broke these in fully, but the more they break in, the more comfortable they get. Especially on the bike, the way they're built, you just set your feet, you can feel the pegs, set your feet on there, and your legs just rest. And you're ready to go anywhere, right? Alright, you can see behind me. One kind of tree. You see that? All of them. Those trees don't produce the nuts and fruits, berries, whatever, that wildlife need to survive. These trees, although they produce pine cones, the people managing these lands don't even use these pine cones. They grow their own and then come out here and plant them. And it's all for lumber, for building materials. Firewood, anything, wood's used for. But it doesn't support wildlife. When they come through here and clear cut and cut out all the hardwoods. Hardwoods are oaks, hickories, the trees that produce nuts and berries. Those are usually your hardwoods. Even like apple and cherry and all those are hardwoods. Like your deciduous woods. The trees that grow leaves instead of pine needles. The ones that grow pine needles, those are softwoods. And they don't have much nutrition for wildlife out here. So it's sterilized everywhere that they've came through and cut out all the hardwoods to plant these for building. And they've done it to every national forest and state forest in the country. And they're sterilizing nature by doing it. Every year people just give up hunting because you go out and there's not much to choose from, man. Some old scraggly deer that aren't smart enough to stay off the roads, that kind of stuff. Just the wildlife that live near farms and people's houses. There's no more out here in the wild. They've sterilized it out here. You'll find a lot more wildlife down in the valleys near the farmlands and stuff, because they have no food up here to eat anymore. I'll get my chair out and I'm going to make camp. Let's see here. I'll get back to you here in just a second. I love this place. My family's been here since 1767. My family's fought in every war, including the Civil War, our war for independence. When a country's doing great, patriotism gets put on the back burner. Patriotism shows its head when a country is in chaos. When you start seeing people being patriotic, loving their country, that means things are messed up. They need to be fixed. Like I said, when you love something, you take care of it. When it's broke, you fix it. I think we can all agree there's some really broken things. And here's the number one thing you can do to start fixing what is wrong, what's broken. You can turn off your television. Never turn on another television. It is programming you. No doubt. Come out here for 4 weeks. See if you can come out here for 30 days. And not talk. Don't see anybody. Get out here where you can be alone. And just be alone for a while. What happens to you after that will change the course of humanity forever. It will change you. That's enough for this evening. I am beside a fire pit. I don't have any firewood. So this was your fireside chat. Fire pit side chat. Okay, we are headed out. Done with this camp for today. May come back here someday. It's pretty nice. I really enjoyed it. We're just gonna head south from here. And away we go. We're gonna go south from South Lake. A little chipmunk, I don't know if you saw that, almost got ran over. Ran right out onto me. It is almost 11 o'clock. There's the little campsite. That's a nice one. Big one. Sometimes I sound stuffy when I'm in my helmet. That's because my goggles push down on my nose. It makes me talk like I've got a stuffy nose or something. Because I mostly have to breathe out of my mouth. It's not the best. We're going all the way to South Beach today, and I think it's gonna take all day to do it.